G'day guys, how's it going? I'm Aaron Whitnall, this is ACWSport, and this week sees the other 4 games in the Champions League last 16 first legs played out. Starting with what is probably the second biggest game of this round behind PSG versus Real Madrid, Chelsea versus Barcelona, and this is going to be a really fascinating game because as we know, Chelsea have had such an up and down 2018 so far, losing to the likes of Watford and Bournemouth, being dumped out of the League Cup, but then they have started to score plenty of goals again in their last couple of games, and you know, they have got the likes of Morata coming back, Giroud has started life at Chelsea well, Eden Hazard seems to be in form. But Barcelona this season are completely unbeaten, haven't lost a single game in any competition, running away with La Liga. They're in the Copa del Rey final, and they seem to be going pretty well in the Champions League so far, although they did have a fairly easy group minus Juventus, which they kind of cruised through. But the real key thing here is that Barcelona have never won at Stamford Bridge, and this is what I really see as a key thing to this game, because regardless of the form that either side are in, when it comes to Chelsea v Barcelona, all we know is that the games are epic. And because of the fact that Barca have never won there, and they do seem to struggle, especially at the Bridge, Messi has never scored against Chelsea, remember, as well. I think Chelsea could get a fairly decent result here. I don't think either side is going to lose this game. I'm actually going to go for a 2-2 draw. I'm going to back Messi to break his duck against Chelsea. I'm going to go Messi and Suarez to score for Barcelona. I'm going to back Hazard, and I'm also going to back Giroud to score for Chelsea in that game. Then the other kind of big tie for the English clubs sees Manchester United travel to Sevilla. United have bounced back in recent weeks. They picked up a fairly comfortable win at Huddersfield at the weekend, but they did have a few topsy-turvy results in between. Obviously, they got humbled at Spurs, and they lost to Newcastle in the Premier League in the last couple of weeks. But especially with everything surrounding Pogba, they still seem to be able to, get past that as they did at the weekend. I think Pogba will play despite the rumours, and I think United, because it's Jose and he knows how to get results in big games, especially away from home, and this kind of game is set up for him perfectly. There'll be a hostile atmosphere at Sevilla. He'll try and suck the life out of Sevilla, but try and catch them on the counter-attack. Kind of like he did against Huddersfield at the weekend. I think his team is set up perfectly for that. I'm going to back United to win 2-1, just simply because even though Sevilla have won their last 3 games, they did lose 5-1 at the start of the month to Eibar, and they sit 5th in La Liga. So again, they're having a bit of an up-and-down season. They have been a threat to English clubs so far in the Champions League. We saw that with Liverpool, but I just think United have got too much quality for them. I'm going to back Alexis Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku to score for United, and for them to take a crucial lead back to Old Trafford. Then looking into the other 2 games that don't feature any English sides, starting with Bayern Munich versus Besiktas. This game is fascinating for me. The real dark horse tie, where we could see a massive upset, because regardless of the fact Besiktas sit, 4th in the Turkish League, they are unbeaten in their last 7 games, but it's the Champions League where their season has really come to light. They absolutely smashed their group that was very difficult as well when you consider that Monaco, Leipzig and Porto were in it. They did phenomenally well to get through. Bayern, though, since they had the managerial change, they have won their last 19 games in a row, and they just look to be that monstrous club that everyone should fear again. I think this tie will be closer than people think, though. I'm going to go 2-1 in the first leg. It's at the Allianz. I'm going to go 2-1 to Bayern Munich. I'm going to back Robert Lewandowski to get a brace in that game, but I think it will be very, very tight. And then the final tie of the round sees Roma travel to Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar, obviously, they did fairly well against Manchester City. I was at the game where they played City at the Etihad, and, they did actually do fairly well against them. Roma, as we know, did fantastically against Chelsea and actually, won the group. And they knocked out Atletico Madrid as well. So Roma, no mean feat for them. Big task for Shakhtar. I think Shakhtar being at home, though, do have a decent chance of getting a good result. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in that game. I'm going to back Edin Dzeko to get on the score sheet for Roma. And look, it's a tough one because this is only Shakhtar's second game of 2018. They won 5-0 at the weekend to kick off their 2018 in some style, following what is a massive winter break. Roma, though, they come into the game with 3 straight wins and they sit 3rd in Serie A, so it could be fairly balanced, but I think this game will be won in Rome in the end. So, that's how I see this week's fixtures going down. Please comment below, let me know. Do you agree with my predictions? Always interested to find out. I'll be back soon with more reviews and predictions. Until then, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with everything. As always, I'm Aaron Whitnall, and I will see you guys again soon.